So, welcome back to the Slide Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Aaron, and I am joined tonight with super special guest, as well as Coach Allie and Coach Jen. How are you ladies doing?
Good. Feel like we got the full squad tonight.
I know. Allie, how are you?
Another good weekend of baseball. We lost to the Yankees 2 of 3, but good East Coast West Coast rivalry and really good weather. I can't complain.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it's okay. I was in Nashville this past weekend with the Bananas, so it got 90 degrees on Saturday.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I know a lot of those guys.
Yeah. Well,
I just sent the umpire a t-shirt.
Yeah, Vincent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and let's just go ahead and introduce our guest tonight. So, Mr. Mark Powell from MP3 Baseball.
What's up, guys? My man, I can't keep my mouth shut.
That's all right. It's okay. So, dude, I know we've been in contact for a while about becoming and being on the show, but and you've been extremely busy, dude. So everyone knows you probably from your TikTok videos, your Instagram. Tell us what you've been up to and where it all started from.
Oh my gosh, man. This weird first time I've ever had this conversation.
I'm sure it is. You can give us the trimmed down version.
This is 2 years. We're 2 years into TikTok MP3. It started off as a baseball mom video about some baseball moms, and then it's been going for 2 years. Since then, a year ago, last March, I got fired from my job because I was too busy trying to make a website about t-shirts that I started selling. The money was starting to match what I was making at my actual job, which I was an electric designer for a long time. Since that, I have done sunglasses. I've done batting gloves. I have a new sunglasses company called SoleroShades.com, which is a premium sunglasses. We just signed Briley St. Clair, which is a Mississippi State softball player who is going to run our softball women's design, and she's working on getting nice fitting ones underneath women's mask and whatnot. We're looking at a Mariner and a St. Louis Cardinal to wear some. A couple college kids, got a lot of NIL kids right now are involved in them. Doing the just started a new team, MP3 Nationals, which I was telling you about.
Let's pace everything, because
then we'll get back to that. So I can keep on going. I ain't got to Hilton yet, so Papa John's talking to them this week.
Oh my god!
For ordering dinner or sponsorship.
Nobody really knows this yet, so this is all me just talking now. So, but no, I've done. I just became a brand ambassador for. I hadn't signed anything. I'm getting ready to do it. I have the contract, but it's for Hampton Inn all over. I probably should.
Yeah,
well, maybe it's not finalized yet, but it's going to be me doing some videos for them. A lot of travel ball kids are there. I've got, and that gets affiliate that's part of this whole thing where I'm going to be traveling the country with my team. And but anyway, it's been a good year. It's been a very busy year. It's been exhausting. I'm not going to lie. It's turned into a job, but it's the job that I 100% I just love it. And I always thought it was real silly when everybody was like, you just need to find something that's just you love, that's so good for you. And I'm just kind of like, well, I thought that was me drawing in some AutoCAD. And then I love this. This is fine. I sit at a desk all day and play on my phone. No, I truly like what I do. Every single thing that I've done in my life, I 100% say that I've used what I've learned here. And every person that I've ever met has been like, you'd be real good if you was like a talk show host, or you need to be on a reality show, man, and you need to do this and that. And it's just really hard to start that.
Yeah,
because I had no idea what I was doing. Since then, I've got about 500,000 followers across all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok leading the charts, and then I've been running that website, do all the t-shirts from my house. The sunglasses, I have a business partner. I have some people from the Solero sides, and they're a big help. But I travel around the country doing appearances now, you know, and I'm doing some stuff with, you know, a lot of baseball companies, and it's just it's 24/7. And it's all you do. 39 years old, get a 16-year-old daughter, 11-year-old son, married, and it takes a toll on a lot of that. You know, his dad's just come home and you gotta get in business mode. You know, everybody sees me in a towel running around a baseball field and thinks it's funny, but it's a lot of editing, you know, a lot of inventory, a lot of emails.
Right. Yeah.
Sounds like you need to go on Shark Tank. You need to go on.
Well, you know, it's funny. I'm actually in apparently they sent over a book, a chapter about me. And I think I heard that I had to send something over to somebody. My business partner did it. Some like Larry Bird's or Magic Johnson's like agents were doing some stuff with the Shark Tank guys, and they were making this book, and I think I'm going to be in a chapter of that from some, you know, some redneck down here in Kentucky who made some big baseball videos, and we went ahead and made some money off of t-shirts. So,
What part of Kentucky are you in?
I'm Louisville. I'm actually in E-Town, or my son plays in E-Town. I'm actually in Bullitt County, which is like the redneck version of it. But it's like 25 minutes from like Churchill Downs is about where I'm at.
Okay.
So that's the, you know, the only thing I could really say it to.
Is there, thinking back, is there like one video that really like shot you to the top? Because how long were you?
No, and everybody thinks that the one that everybody knew the most has been the you know, a lot of them, like a lot of them, but the main one was the one I was hitting that one to my son versus the coach's kid. That one really took off.
Yeah.
So is it never elevated. Most people will do like one video on social media, and then it'll get like they'll get like 500,000 followers or 50,000 followers or 1 million in just a couple weeks. And I'm thinking, but with me, I guess my thing was such a niche market that I think I just got travel ball families, and I think that because it never really violently grew. Like I only have 200 and like 70 something thousand or something on TikTok, and you know, that's majority of, I mean, there's probably a lot of bots on there and a bunch of kids and stuff. So you can't really do a lot of business from there, but it's a good flex and it looks really good in an email. But the thing is that it's not a ton. I'm not no Kardashian, but you know, and I've got 130,000 on Facebook, I got 100,000 on Instagram. But I started my business when I had like 8,000 followers, because I was like, well, what if I did? Because everybody was like, you need to sell some merch. And I was like, well, how do you do that? You know, and then I started designing some little cute ads where I was like me, and I was like, you know, you should, you know, shop at MP3. And then one day it was like, no, man, just do computer rated just do, you know, lifestyle images of people wearing it, and then do like a computer rated version of the glasses like Oakley does. And it's real simple if you do it like this, and there's people online that can help you do that. And I knew a little bit of that background, and so everything just kept getting better and better. And I genuinely just tried to stay on the same path while selling my stuff, but without saying buy this. It was like, like here I am now. It's like, hi guys.
Yeah, the product sells themselves.
Fun. So I put the logo on it, which was just something I made for $6. I liked Under Armour. I liked like certain fitting shirts. I liked this style because I used to go to Dillard's and buy them for $6. And then I found out you can, you know, just order blanks and throw some stuff on it, and then just attach. I think this is what did it, was that there, because it wasn't just a blank. It wasn't just a blank shirt. It was just and I'm not showing you all. It was
not at all.
But this logo right here was, I think, matter, because it gave some sort of symbolization to like, oh, that's that travel ball dad. And so everybody calls me and they write me and they're like, man, you know, we see your shirts. We're like, I understand, you know what I'm saying? We're all part of, and I feel like I'm the Howard Stern of travel ball, you know, because I say how it is.
Just say how it is.
About my life's all I'm doing. I mean, that's all I really do.
So what is so first of all, so it's Jalen, right? It's your son?
Jalen, he's the best player in the world. Yes.
Yep. So Jalen, because he's the spotlight in some of the videos. And what's your wife? He's
really good, man.
Yeah.
He's like really good at baseball, and everybody's like, "Yeah, sure he is."
Well, what's he think about this when you're yelling, Jalen, get your glove down?
Jalen, he don't like he likes to only be on here if he looks cool enough.
Of
He's very
course.
quiet. Jalen's the kid you want on your team. He's a very coachable kid. He's very lets everything go. He'd be a great golfer, you know. But he is an absolute little stud, and you know, he's been getting a lot better. We actually pulled him, you know, he's playing on a team that's about an hour away from his friends.
Mhm.
And he wanted to be on a team like that, you know. And I wasn't always like, you know, we've left teams and we teams broke up, and we always managed to stay in really cool with those families. You know, they're not following me much right now because they know a lot of the videos have been about them. So the friend circle out here in the old Mount Washington's kind of shrank a little bit. You can see who likes your videos and who not. Yeah, I'm paying attention. And but no, it's Jalen is very reserved. He's a lot like his mom. You know, they don't like the spotlight. And my daughter, on the other hand, is a lot like me. And the thing is that I'm not really realizing there's a spotlight until every time I step out of Kentucky. And so it's starting. I had somebody from Saudi Arabia write me last week, and we're like, we'd like for you to help us promote a tournament in Dubai. And I say, did anybody know me in Dubai? And they were like, yeah, dude. They're like, you're worldwide, dude. They're like, it's all we talk about is sending your videos over here. And so we started sending me these pictures, and then that got into like a whole, like, you know, conversation. And I wasn't really, it's just being kind of talked about. But the fact that I am sending stuff and I'm getting, like, you know, messages and stuff from people from Australia and Mexico and you get a lot of Pakistan and stuff for shirts and stuff, but like real families are like, you know, I just want to let you know, we live in, you know, Singapore, and you're seeing these translation things, you're watching these kids. We'd love if you give our kid a shout out, or you've been the reason we wanted to start playing travel ball because we knew what signs to not look for. And then that turned into a whole, you know, speaking thing that I'm getting ready to get involved in with this thing. It's some guys out in Texas, and it's a baseball mom summit, and it's about mental health, and it's about how to coach different types of kids and how to handle different types of parents, and why does that kid get yelled at but that one don't? But he yelled at him the same way he yelled at that one, but now that one's really upset and his parents are upset because, oh, we didn't know he was autistic or something. You know, you can't coach. And I've got a lot of friends like that personally, and I'm getting involved with that. And I give a crap about how you teach each kid individually, because you cannot coach your kid the same way as you can your own.
Every kid,
certain kids can handle cussing, certain kids cannot. Certain parents don't want that. It's the same thing with the dads, you know, and there's daddy ball, there's friendship ball, there's betting now, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that I've read and people have presented to me. And now it's like, well, let's not just be funny. Let's figure out a way to make this informative. And so that's what's on the way for his part 3 year that I've got, which is where I am going to travel the country with this team. There will be tryouts. There's going to be kids that have already, their parents have been writing me things. It's just a showcase. What parents don't know is that I actually paid for a lot of this out of my pocket this first time, because I genuinely just want to see if I could do it or not.
Yeah.
I want one team of people that I coached. And I got kind of crucified for that a little bit on social media, because it was like, well, why didn't you come to North Carolina? Or why did this kind of kid get picked? And why didn't he? And he's this color and that one's this one. And I'm thinking, by now, I'm like, are y'all really think that I'm that guy? Because I'm cool with everyone. I don't even vote. And I'm fine to say that, man. I don't, my life has been the exact same for 40 years. I have paid bills. I've got 3 credit cards right now, and I'm still paying on my lawnmower on 0% finance. I'm not a millionaire, and I'm just nice to people. I don't want to overcharge people for some showcases. I just want to get a bunch of good kids together, get a bunch of good coaches together, and I want to be a showcase. I don't want to charge you $900 like the kid play for me. I don't need your, like, I charge everybody costs for their shirts. I don't need to make $100 off a bunch of families along with another $400 from the tournament fees. They're going to give me those tournament fees anyway, because I'm going to promote their tournament. So I don't need to pay to get into those. Yeah. I'm going to promote their tournament for them. And then they're going to be,
that works out.
I've been doing that, you know, and then it's like, hey, you want to play for me? And it's not a set in stone thing. And I just want to be like, let's figure out a way. All these baseball mom summits are going to be attached to it. I'm going to be able to speak to it. I'm going to be able to talk about building your brand. I've got other influencers coming out. I've got Hilton, Game Changer, Pocket Radar, Easton Rawlings, Stinger. I can go down to the Guardian dudes. I'm still cool with it, you know, whatever. And just you name it. I've got them all on my phone. So let's try and give it a positive light now and not so it's so much darked on, because I see a lot of the good, but everybody thinks of travel ball different types of ways. Because like what you do in Kentucky is not how it is in Texas. It's not the same way in Atlanta. It's not the same way in California. It's a whole lot different in Dubai, I'm hearing. So you've got to understand that there's levels to this. And a lot of people sit back and they go, oh, well, travel ball, I'm never going to get my kid into that because it costs $900,000 and I can't afford that. We're just going to let him play multiple sports because we don't want him to get burned out because we want him to be a kid. And you're like, dude, I spent like $700 this year so my kid could go play in a radius of like a 2-hour radius. That's my travel ball. Right. But then one day, you know, my kid's dad got famous and he was like, well, hey, let's go over here to Atlanta and see what's going on over here, because somebody called me and said, come on out. But my son's team actually went there. That was his team, you know, but I made some friends with good people. And I was like, I like your tournaments and I'd like to show this off. It's fun here and everybody gets along and nobody yells at the umpires. Nobody yells at the coaches. They handled it very properly. So I just started associating myself. That's why I'm with you. Yeah. There's people that I have not been on podcasts with now because I'm like, I don't really like what you're doing. We've been talking for what, 1.5 years now?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but that's the whole other side that's crazy. Probably nobody knows.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
Well, how much do you get those haters versus the ones that are like, man,
95% has been the best.
I figured
it's getting a lot darker right now. And I think it's just because of the whole, oh, now he's got a team, and I know they're gunning for me. I know they're stacking team. I know people are coming out. I know they want me to see their kids.
Some stuff.
And I'm all right with that because I'm just gonna make a TikTok video about it.
Yeah, they're just giving him more content.
I've had conversations with people on my team. I've had my son is not playing shortstop, but you know what? He's good enough to play there. But honestly, I got a couple better shortstops, and you know what? And I'm gonna move them around a whole lot, and their parents are gonna just have to deal with it because listen, I'm not their coach. I'm a guy who's going to help them play at 150%, have fun, and I'm going to show the world those kids. And that's what my goal is.
So what was your message to the parents when you started this team? Like, did you lay out any foundational rules?
Well, the first thing I did was I was friends with those parents, a lot of them, 9 of them to be exact on that team. And I was like, we just stayed in touch with them, and their kids were good kids. And my son liked hanging out with them, and they weren't the ones that threw a fit in the dugout that the parents couldn't handle. They weren't the ones that were cussing everybody out. It was like, some of them are, some that's fine. Some of that I'm all right with. You know what I'm saying? I get mad when I can't hit a golf ball straight. I'm not going to yell at you for throwing a bat on the ground. Just forget it when you go to the next hole. You know what I'm saying? When you go back out there, forget it. Like, don't take, he struck you out. Well, guess what? We'll strike him out now, you know? And, I use a lot of Rocky and Karate Kid stuff. I was a 90s, 80s dude, and I just simplified things. I didn't know. I wasn't no great coach, but I understood people, and I learned baseball. I played baseball, I played basketball. I was always the kid that was he looked real good walking up because I always had all the cool stuff on, even though I couldn't afford it. And they were like, man, pick that kid up. And then I play like 5 minutes on a basketball court. They'd be like, hey, man, we'll holler at you in a little bit. We're going to take his due for a minute right now. And I'm like, all right. So then I was sitting the bench. So I was able to know what it was like to not be the popular kid. While I was on a team with all the popular kids who wanted their sons to be popular, but now the kid who wasn't that popular, his son was. Nope. So now it was like, hey, this is really cool because now I'm living my popularity through him, and it's made me. Now I've got my people in high school being like, hey, man, you going to come to the reunion? And I was thinking, you all didn't even talk to me in high school. Now you want me to show up at the 20th?
I know.
I low-key wanted to go, though, to be like, what's up, everybody? Little they know I have $100 in my account, but I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, Papa John's. And
it sounds like you and I lived very similar childhoods.
Back on her, it's... it has been, those parents not to answer your question after I rambled forever, is I was very honest with them all. I told all the parents, I said, hey, I was like, I've had questions for them that I've heard chirping. And then I just immediately went to that parent and said, look, here's some of the issues that I'm thinking about, and I need to talk to you about it. So then it alleviates all the other drama.
Oh, yeah.
I said, look, dude, you've got some kids that are a little small, and I'm a hair worried about it, honest. And I've been like, this one here is not going to play shortstop all the time. He's just not. If I want my kid to play, I need your kid for here and here. He's going to be able to mess up this many times. And then this is what's going to happen on championship day. I understand that where we're at. I said, but this has to be done correctly. There's 3 game changers being ran. We're going to get a
average.
There you go of it. And it's different parts of people. And they all know this because I want a realistic number. And I'm going to let all the kids seat equally, and I'm going to move them around. But some of them are going to get to a point where it's going to go, now we're going to tighten things up a little bit, I picked kids, different levels. And I wanted different types of people. And these kids all got along with each other. And they're all, they've all played with kids around the United States. And now it's like, okay, now let's look at another age group. Now let's find another coach, like one of you all or someone else, and get them involved who's really good. But then you're there. Then you're doing what Baseball Youth is doing because you're targeting all these different companies. You're like, hey, I'm coming out. I've got 5 teams now. Here's where we're staying. Here's the discount. This is how much it's going to cost. You're more than welcome. This is where we need your kid. This is the level we're looking for. And it's really broken down instead of let's just throw a bunch of kids together to some watered down stuff and have a bunch of single A parents mad because the major kids showed up. And then the double A kids were like, well, why are the single A kids here? The triple A people were like, why ain't we majors yet? So you're like, and then the national kids run around like, y'all ain't even good as us. So, and then everybody parents think their kid's the best. And so you're like, oh, and that's what's kind of pissing everybody off. So you just kind of be like, here's this. You got levels are so important and nobody sees it because it's just like it's so much different from a triple A than a single A than a national to apparently global now after the phone calls I've been having. So, but and who's really who even knows all this because everybody's just living in their own little area. And I'm over here being like, what did you see what they did in East Cobb? Man, that kid over there, they picked him up 15 minutes ago and flew him to Egypt to play. And I seen the Team USA dudes on the plane and everything. And they were from Mexico, and it was a 12-year-old team. And so I'm talking to them about my stuff. And I was like, I'm coming for y'all, and it was fun. Awesome. It was cool. And that's the first time I've ever really talked about this on any single radio podcast at all. And I've been on a ton of them. And this is good to get off my chest. I have to say, I'm not gonna be also.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, who manages your calendar? Like, holy crap.
Me. It's hard because I'm not ready to pass the shirts off yet. My family's not, because that is just and so important to us from just the income. Because we know how they look when they go out. The sunglasses and the batting gloves are different. I've had a little bit of issues with my batting gloves. They're better for the smaller kids. The bigger ones were putting pine tar and they were tearing. Yeah. So I just was nice to customer service. I try and answer everybody. As soon as they email me, it's me. They didn't realize it's me every time. They're like, oh my God, it's you. And I'm thinking, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to be famous to these. And that's so hard to I was such a cocky person when I was younger. And now I'm not, but I'm just loud and I never shut up. And I understand that, but I can handle this fame better now than I would ever have been able to handle that when I was, 24, so I think this happened for a reason, and I have no idea where it's headed.
Well, that's the
to
fun
Dubai.
part.
I just hope I get a really good marketing job. I was talking to my Hilton people. I was like, look, if this all falls through, can I please help out in the social media department? I don't need a whole lot. Just maybe like 30, 40 bucks an hour, work from home. Yeah. We can just delete everything else.
All right. So Mark, we just had, this is another member of our team just joined us. So Coach Mama. So
man, you got all girls on your staff here.
I know it, dude.
Play a little girly ball over here. What we're doing.
I know it. Well, Daddy ball, they vetoed that very quickly with me, but
right there.
So
all the lined up just down the side. Just a little.
It is. Well, so hey, so we started a blog in the vein of really some of your messaging that you have, and so Coach Mama Megan Bridges, she writes the blog for us. So, and Megan in our cover photo, she's wearing one of your shirts.
Let's go, Coach
I'm
Mama.
also
Game Changer wrong, sir.
Game Changer wrong.
Good conversation.
Look, you got some revenue sitting here, Mark. You should be proud.
I
I
know.
know, man. He's got the whatever you say blue. She got the Game Changer wrong racerback. Got the outfield matters. He's rocking some hats. It's a crazy travel ball show out here, guys. Slide
Listen,
podcast. Gotcha. Y'all gotta go follow Slide.
I got a problem with you.
Say that. You do?
I got a problem with your gear because I can't get my hands on them. Every time I go to your website, I'm like, yes, finally, and it's like not in your size. Like, I am not a small angel. I've had 4 children. I need y'all to like amp up your extra large size.
Okay.
I can never.
It's just literally it's in a 12 by 12 foot room in the basement right now, and I'm folding stuff.
We'll have to get you in the room.
I know I'm about to get it. I know. It's kind of costs so much money. I'm scared to death to buy. All I do is buy stuff. I know. I got shirts coming. Right now
you would sell a lot more if they were in stock more, because I need the whatever you say blue. I need outfield matters. I've got to keep your glove down.
I'm gonna have to send you some stuff now. You know, I mean, you gotta be like that dude. You know, I'm like that dude on the radio. So hey man, that's what they do. They get you on. I'll send you some stuff, but we'll talk after.
I got you. Hey, listen, I'm gonna pay the big bucks for the good shirt. Like today, I was like repping my shirt, and I was like, "Got it, you don't." Like I'm trying to look fly out here at my games. So
yeah,
I'm
she's trying to have a
with
little
it.
drip.
Well, you look good, Mama.
I'll
You
pay
look
the
good in
cash.
that great shirt. Game Changer wrong.
I appreciate you.
So her
I look good. What about your child losing?
So her last blog she just released was Daddy Ball blog, and you should go read it, Mark. Yeah, right. Yeah. So you should. I'll send you a link to it, but it's a really heartfelt message, and like we get like there's an undertone of everything that you do, and I think that's meant to really teach people the right way of doing things through your comedy, and I love it, man. Like. I know what you're getting at. How many times have you ever had like a travel ball mom like really take offense to what you've said?
Oh, I haven't had any. I cuss a lot, and I used to drink a little more than I do now. I've always been pretty good at not doing anything like that in the right. And I'm not an alcoholic before I hear you shouldn't do that. I'm just
headline
literally like 3 of them in the last like 4 days. But I've grown up a lot, and I'm usually pretty good about talking my way out of stuff. But I'm actually, believe it or not, I can roll quick enough and know that I'm not going to go off of this dirty, because a lot of people are like, man, we had our finger on the button just waiting on you. Like, I hadn't said a bad, I know I haven't cussed this whole time, but I was drinking the last one a little bit. I was like, but I've had a couple close. They were close. I had a couple friends on my son's team that I felt like it was a little bit of a jealousy thing, over the last, 2 years of you really taking offense to some of the stuff that just never had anything to do with you. And then they just never believe you. And I've really been very careful on changing a lot of the stories to where it doesn't ever just exactly, because you've got to think, I get so many messages sent to me now from people that, man, you need to do one about the kid that throws a fit on the mound. And I'm like, all right. And then I do one. They're like, oh my God, he was talking about such and such. And I'm like, man, I haven't even seen that kid in 2 years. Like, I'm not even thinking about him right now. I'm thinking about what the Hilton Hotel just called and told me. And then it's like, well, they didn't go out to dinner the other night with them, and they had this meeting. So these friends of mine are on this team, and I hope y'all are on here. And they were like, oh yeah, they were all like, it's gonna be a fun team. We're gonna play all year round, multiple sports. We ain't into that hotel. We try to burn kids up. And it was a single A team. And all of a sudden, they were like, well, now all of a sudden things changed a little bit. Now it's starting to get a little more competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm sitting back, and then their whole, I don't know, I lost train of thought where I was going with this. But,
you're talking about your friends.
Yeah, well,
they're not close friends. They're just friends.
Oh yeah. So I started making and so they were like, so then they were like, well, they went over, and long story short, they were supposed to be on a team, and we didn't want nobody else knowing but a certain amount of people. And so we get on they're on another team now, and they're doing the same thing again. And so that story right there has been sent to me 100 times, but I made it about one of the people that I didn't know, and then all my friends got mad about that. Some of the one, and it's those are the ones you kind of make mad.
Just coincidentally.
And it's not like I'm even doing it on purpose. Sometimes I'll text people and say, hey man, look, this ain't about you. Is it okay? I know it looks bad, but it's not. At this point, I'm just trying to act. And it's not so much, I don't have any issues right now. I mean, my kid plays, I can put him, really in a lot of places. I don't have to, oh God, don't make anyone mad, and I'm just trying to come up with content that brings light to a situation to make something better now.
Right.
Because I've seen it help people. And I sound like all those other celebrities that say this on those radio shows. It's really all about giving back. And no, I really am bringing that up. But no, it really is like
having a purpose.
There had to be something that mattered,
Right.
and I genuinely like people, and I don't care who you are at all. I was drinking a Bud Light on a cruise ship with a little girl, and I had a picture of me in it. It was just, I would go out to dinner, and I didn't know anything about the Bud Light deal. And at the same time, that was a whole ordeal. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I dress up as a baseball mom. I'm like, what's the point? I probably should be drinking a Bud Light. And I was like, just none of that stuff. I don't have my brother was a lot when he was younger, and there was a lot of drama with that. And I always just kind of I was cool. I was a gothic kid when I was younger. I like
really, I don't see that.
Dude, I like Marilyn Manson. I knew how to skateboard play. I played the piano. I mean, I've got a tattoo here of the piano. I play by ear. I'm like really good at it, and nobody knows. And I'll never post that ever because I just don't care anymore.
Yes, you will. Next show, we will absolutely be recording that.
I can play a little bit, but but I also like Elton John, and I like ICP and Jordan, and I like gay people a lot, and I like transgender. I like everyone. I just don't care. I'm just a regular dude who I hate the negativity. I don't hold grudges to nobody. Yeah. Because if anything, I apologize to people on purpose just because it makes things easier, because some people just won't say they're sorry. And it's easier to be like, hey, my bad, because I don't really care that much anyways.
Right.
I don't care about daddy ball. I don't care where my kid plays. He don't care where he plays. If he quits this tomorrow, I'll still do the same thing I'm doing. That I've never been this honest, but this is look, I'm sure people are going to be like, yeah, I ain't saying you shouldn't say that. This is me. And I don't know, man. That's kind of what I'm doing. And I really hope that, one day I could, make this real big, because it's an addiction. This has helped me. I'm nicer now. I'm happier. Yeah. I don't drink very much no more. I'm trying to get healthier. I genuinely am trying to be a better parent and better at my wife. It's been a lot. It's 16 years of marriage. And people have been like, you look happier now. And I had some stress when I worked at that, office. It was high school there. I know. I don't think go deep on y'all. We can funny if you want.
No, dude, that's great.
I think that this the mental health aspect of it, we've touched on several times, and I think you can probably use that platform pretty well to talk to not just players, but also parents about how to accept, if little Johnny doesn't make the baseball team or whatever.
It's not little Johnny anymore. It's like little Braden now, because there's no Johnnies anymore. It's Braden, Caden, Hayden, Ollie, Levi. You know what I mean? Come on, there ain't no Marks and Steves running around out there on first.
No right, Bills. You don't got no Bills.
No, William ain't gonna slide home. You know what I mean?
No, but, William is Liam.
Tyler are. I'm Kylie sliding in.
William is Liam now.
I know a couple of them Liams. They're good kids.
Yeah, but I think you could use that platform to really help people. If you're feeling like you got a bigger calling from all this, it could be that.
And so I'm doing some stuff on LinkedIn a lot now with that, and then I've already been kind of talking to some pre-travel ball tournaments where there's been like Sis Bates was at a baseball youth thing, and if y'all are ever on here, you tell everybody you need to go. There's certain places you need to go. Panama City's great. The day after Christmas, I had a ball down there, and they had a huge softball thing, huge baseball thing, and she spoke, and then I spoke a little bit, and I was like, wow, I was like, it wasn't that hard to just get up there and talk, because it's like doing this right now. Like I never shut up, and I'm like, well, and I try real hard to just like let kids know that it's not going to be the end of the world. And I've talked to my son's coach and other coaches on this team now, where I'm like, hey, if you just let someone else deal with him, maybe, and not you, you're going to get a little more out of this way, because my son doesn't like me to talk to him. And, there's a lot of parents that will say, all right, but then they won't do it.
Yep.
And I did play daddy ball at a time. I knew I wanted him to be good, because I got into that. Oh my God, like, this is what it's like to be popular, and he's good. He's hitting ball and he could dribble under his legs. And I couldn't do that till I was like 38 and stuff. So, and it was, and I was actually, but
no, you were just
that's
good
the
enough to show
kind
up.
of
Though.
stuff you start talking about. You're doing these question and answers. You have a lot of people asking you, what do you need to do in this situation? What do I need to do here? And what should I do if my son doesn't get a play? And then they go on this huge ordeal, and it's this heartfelt story. And they're like, I'm like, well, how old is he? And they're like, well, he's 6. And I'm like, oh my God. and it's just like, well, he throws the ball as coach pitch better to his son than he does mine. And he's always throwing in this.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God.
Like,
Look,
I
heard this 3 weeks ago at an All-Stars tryout. We had a neutral
I believe
pitcher.
it.
We had a neutral pitcher that was, he was just neutral to the team. And we had parents sitting on the side complaining because the neutral pitcher made some mistakes with some batters and made some bad pitches. And they were literally during just a tryout.
Yeah.
How about you pitch to my son like that? Why can't you throw my son those kind of pitches?
Yeah, I don't
And I'm
like that.
thinking, like,
No,
oh my
like I had
God.
an issue. I actually had an issue this weekend. My son hit a kid. He was the kid was pitching, and Jalen hit him and knocked his little legs out from under. And I knew I'd hurt. And Jalen felt really bad. I know my kid felt really, really bad. And I wasn't close enough to tell him. And I talked to him about the importance of being like, look, you're going to want to let him know that was your bad, and he didn't know that. And I never really told him that. And then we had to talk about it, because, I went up, I was like, hey, I've never been thrown out ever of a game, and I'm real loud, but I just genuinely, try and keep it a positive experience. I've been in the guy in between some of the fights, recently. I was in a couple between some grown men about travel ball, and
did you pull? You should have pulled your camera out while it was going on.
And that's I had,
smile for the camera.
Situations where I've done that, but you know what? I've seen catcher or umpires with the black eye video, and the people fighting. I don't want you to go to my website and see physical stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'll do a video of myself doing it, but I ain't trying to put nobody on blast. Because I was with, like, I seen it happen this weekend, and I was like, and everybody was like, man, you should have filmed that. And man, that would have got millions,
You're right.
I had a ton of followers. But then
promoting
the whole entire base, I like to show up at these things and be like, wow, he's cool and nice to us. And he genuinely takes time out. And I try and talk to everybody and I don't want to put that on there. And
I like that.
Screw you, dude. And then, because I did it in a way on an accident. I had a couple dudes one time, and this is what made me think about it. They were standing behind the basketball goal, and there was like 6 of them in a row. It was a harmless video. And I was watching them, and I was like, man, I said, those are the dudes that stand behind home plate right there when they're the ones
Oh, I see. Yep.
where they need to be in the box and what that catcher needs to do. And then I seen some of them comment, and they're, I'll tell you right now, buddy, he won't say it to my face. And I was like, but that's what kind of made me think, well, let's just reenact that instead.
Right.
So I'll usually get, approval and stuff, but there's been a few people that are like, hey man, why don't you take that one down? Even though we didn't go out to eat with the parents after the game, we don't really want everybody thinking that we're like that.
Have you seen the guy? I can't remember the Instagram, but there's a guy out there. He'll actually go to the parks and pretend to be a recruiter.
Oh yeah.
He's so funny.
He's good. He's like a younger kid.
Yeah, but he pushes it to the limit. And I sent him a message one night, and because I showed my wife, and she was like, "I don't know about that." And I sent him a message.
No,
I'm like, "Hey, dude." I was like, "Hey, you need to post like the reaction videos of when you tell them."
Yeah.
And so that lightens the mood.
There's a couple videos, I'm more now. I've got to the point now where I've really paid attention to marketing and sales.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like, how do you sell something without trying to sell it? How do you wear it in a video and you keep I wear a lot of hats, other people's stuff.
I do too.
Like this dude right here I met, and he gave me a hat. Everybody sends me hats. This is a grill company, and They make Blackstones. Super nice dudes, a travel ball.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna go look them up.
yeah,
See
and
there?
I'm just saying it was just like I try and wear a hat. I don't ever announce it. I'm not saying buy the grill, but it's on, and they're like, "Where'd you get that hat at?" And it's like, and then you tag them in the video, and it's like a form of hey, thank you for the hat. It's not that hard for me to tap at, Mr. Grill Guy, Loco Cookers. There you go, Loco out there at Home Depot. There you go. But
Man.
and a lot of like I'm going to Glasgow, Kentucky this weekend. It's probably a couple hours from my house. It's like a rec ball type family fun. I'm not charging them people nothing. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna sell anything at that thing. They said we'll put you up in a hotel room. I said I'll come down and hang out with everybody for the weekend. I
Don't sell my shirts. Don't sell my
No,
shirts.
honey, I got yours. I got yours already. They done on the way already. I done fast shipped them. They shipping
Okay.
here at MP3 Baseball.
It's still FedEx
Signed
to me.
autograph, multiple sell. Whatever
Best
you
believe.
need, darling. I got you, Coach
Best
Mom.
believe it better be at my house. Best believe.
Oh, hey, she needs some sunglasses too. I guess I need.
Hey, she needs it all. She does. She does.
Take pictures of your child, whoever you do. I'll post it all over Instagram.
Hey, look, she's
our
got
high maintenance. She's our high
got-
maintenance.
Yeah, she's got
That's
3.
absolutely not true. Like that is absolutely not true, Jen.
She was joking.
Like you
You
telling
got
some
any
lies
MP3
now.
baseball pants? She needs MP3 baseball pants.
I was looking at some yoga pants.
No, I need to see other men in MP3 baseball pants. It's totally different.
Third baseman.
I know the
Third baseman.
Stinger dude's got some good gray jogger pants.
Oh yeah, I saw those. I saw they're actually they're from Fort Mill, so they're about 45 minutes from us.
I like those dudes. That's another thing. They made my uniforms for my little national team, and they do good stuff, man. I'm pumped about. I ain't showed nobody these. I got my national, got my little logo on the side here.
Okay.
And I have another one in the white that's got the national.
Oh, I like that.
That's mine right there. So, but the kids got the name, and it's just a quick. They just look. I had a couple weeks to put that together, and they just hurried up and did that. And Brandon and Jordan helped me so much over there. This is their hat. I've been wearing their stuff forever. They're great people. Axe Bats are great dudes. I like the Easton and Rawlings dudes are good. I'm trying to think of everybody I've been messing with. I know Guardian's probably here. Like, let's say something. Guardian.
I know Matt.
He's waiting. They low key be like, "Oh, we got you started." I'm like, "Come on, man! I was gonna be doing videos for a lot. I got 120 more videos to do. Some more about your team." No, they're cool. They actually did. I'll give Guardian a shout out. They flew me out to a big convention when this all got started. I had about 40,000 followers, and I was able to meet a lot of the companies, and that's what really
awesome.
I was able to meet the dudes from Axe and all those different companies, and that was awesome, and made a lot of really cool friends, and then it just kept on going.
How was ABCA this past year? Because it
was awesome.
You had a blast.
I brought Morgan Gaither with me.
Yeah.
He's got 3-something million followers, and I mean to tell you, dude, we were going back and forth, and I said, you got 3.5 million followers or something, or 3, whatever. And I said, I only got a couple 100,000. And I was like, man, it's gonna suck if we come in here and you're gonna be all famous and nobody's gonna know who I am. And as soon as we walked in that place, this little travel ball boy come running up, and I was like, here I go. And he was like, Morgan, can I get my picture with you? And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, hey man, you don't know me. He goes, no. And I was like, and he had no idea. I went to find out once we were going to do a little bet, and we went in there, and then it got a little rowdy. The best part about that, no, there are a lot of people knew who I was, and it was the coolest thing ever, because Manny Ramirez was signing autographs, and there was a bunch of travel ball people around.
I saw your pictures and your videos with it.
They were like, oh my God, it's Mark Paul from Kentucky, the travel ball dad. And I looked right at Manny Ramirez, and I was like, hey, hang on a minute there, bud. They're gonna get to you in a minute. And I was like, yeah. But like everybody was so cool. Like everybody was cool to me there. And I was running into people the whole time. And I mean, they've got everything baseball.
Are you going this next year?
I'm actually gonna probably have a booth set up, and I might even be talking at it. So
okay.
You want to take me out there? You want to take me out there and be like, hey, you'd be like, hey, this is Coach Mama. She's got like 72 followers. She's like rocking it. She's like nearly blue check.
I will.
It'll make you feel so good.
I think we should collab. Really? No. I don't remember.
It's in Dallas.
It's in Texas. Yeah. Well, it's in Dallas, and I'll have to be at that one, because Dallas has been my second home this year. I've been there 4 times this year.
Yeah, it's in Dallas, and then I think next year it might be in Vegas, I believe, or Chicago.
Yeah, that's it. That's way it was. I just couldn't remember which one came first, but
Yeah.
I'll be there in Dallas, and I'll probably have I might have an MP3 and a Solero depending on where it's at. But what is it, in January again?
Yeah, first weekend.
You gonna
January.
go?
Yeah, we are.
All y'all gonna go?
I think most of us. Yep.
Oh, dude. Well, let's go. Let's hook up for sure.
Yeah.
I'll come by and say hi. Are you gonna be broadcasting down there and stuff?
Well, I talked to the guy who runs it. Well, he said he was thinking about having a broadcast row this year and just a row just for podcasts. So
oh, dude, you know how cool that be? You walk down that thing and just say the same story over and over and over and over. Well, what happened? I made a baseball mom video, and
yeah.
Hey,
And
dude,
then I'll be over there. I'll be the loser over there going, I just write for these people. I just write these little things. And I just try to make memories and encourage you guys to just love what you do and do what you love. And I'm a nobody.
See, and I want to go on every single show and be the guy who asks me questions, but I want to act like, Aaron, and been like, man, tell us how you got started there, Mr. MP.
That's right.
Well, this kid was throwing a fit in the dugout, and he threw his hat at my son, and I was like, is anybody going to say anything to him? And they were like, it's the coach's kid. And we were like, oh, well, never mind. He could hurt my baby. Then I'm not going to. And, you can just do that.
Walk it off, baby. Walk it off, Jalen. Walk it off.
Well, I know, Jalen. It was a joke, Jalen. I made that up. You want to be on TV? You sure? The whole world wants to know. There's a 48 people watching. I don't know. I can't even see that.
Let's see him.
Where's Jalen?
He ain't coming over here.
He ain't coming. Okay. Hey, well, I want to go back to the mental health part. So the next episode that's coming out before this episode is we had mental health academy on with us, and they do an actual one, like a mental health online course. They do it in person, but so this travel ball mom event, where and when is it at?
You need to, I'll get you hooked up when we get off here with, so Aaron Hampton is from, and he ain't gonna mind me saying this, at 24 Sports. It's a Dallas, Texas tournament director who hosts tournaments in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And he's been working with some of the people from the Hilton that I've been, and they get these summits together. They had a summit a year ago, and I called in on it, and I was really, everything was always really so organized for me. And apparently they did really well. It's like a couple hundred, moms in this thing, and they had a nice little, little snack area, and they sat around and they went over the pros and cons of travel ball. They were able to discuss issues they had. It was like a travel mom's AAA group.
Yeah.
And so now, they needed an MC. So, here we are. So
that's perfect.
Multiple speakers. And I actually just got off of a phone call, a Zoom meeting from a company. I don't remember the name of them. I can't remember their name, and I feel so bad about it. But they do stuff just like this. So I'll pass their information on to him, and I'll do the same for you.
Yeah,
and they're all on the same page because they genuinely just care about. These are the type of people that want to make travel ball better, and because we all want to make baseball great again, guys. And
that is
I felt that.
But. That's and then they're good people. They flew me to Dallas. I had a and look, I'll be honest with you. When I first started talking to him, I was kind of like, man, I don't know, I don't know who. And everybody was always wanting me to do this stuff. Well, then I met him and his wife, and they had me down there. It was a very nice trip, a day trip. And we walked around all the different hotels he was talking about, and they really cared about it, and they got a really good little following as a radio show, and the Hilton people were there, and they wanted everything to be so well done. And I was like, wow, they really care about people, and that was his wife was so sweet. And then it was like, we just want to have a positive impact on making travel ball. We just want to help do this, and they're getting all these people involved, like me, and now you awesome. All probably, and then other people who could make a difference. And this is kind of accidentally happening, I didn't have any of this planned. I was over there trying to figure out how to get out of these baseball videos, and now I've gotten deeper with them, and so it has reality, to a point where it's like therapy. We talk about this stuff every single day. You have a game at weekend, and then you go home, you talk about it it's like Sports Center. I tell everybody at radio show, as soon as you get off of your son's 10, 11, whatever team, it's it's ESPN Sports Center or Around the Horn or Part of the Internet, and you're dissecting all these kids. You're like, well, did you see what happened second, man? They played. It always starts off with, that was a solid, good day today. I had a really good time. And then it gets to the point where like, I mean, you've seen such and such drop the ball twice, and they only put one error on Game Changer, but they didn't put two on there. And you're like, oh, now they don't like that kid for a minute. I'm thinking, no, this didn't happen this weekend. It happened 2 weekends ago. But anyways, I gotta say, you know, we had a little drama on our team, and my son's coach handled that very well. And he, you know, and I was really pleased with how he handled it. It was a lot of drama, and I'm gonna talk about that situation at one of these things because it was a heavy one, you know, kid ended up.
That's usually the problem. Like the coaches don't get involved early enough. And I mean, that's
really, the problem is that, man, at the end of the day, though, you got all these kids going to about 5 different coaches. You got a pitching coach.
Oh, you're right.
Coach, you got another coach. Most of these kids aren't even seeing those coaches now at another level. Like you see these parents at single A, they're like, well, we all need to stay together forever. And then you got the kids in the national, and none of them kids even practice together. They just fly them everywhere, and they send a video.
They just show up.
So you got your Republicans and your Democrats here, and nobody's on the same page. Then you got me in the middle being like, guys, it's okay. They're just single A, man. It's all right. Now I understand what they're saying. Just wait. They're not, you know, and you're just kind of like rec ball dad versus travel ball dad and baseball mom versus alpha mom. And then you've got all this political travel ball stuff. And, you know, I'm hoping to run for the president of travel ball this year. You know,
well, you got our vote.
You got our vote. Like, and we'll campaign for you.
Does this sound dope? I'm just venting. I mean, I'm not even, I don't have.
You just created a new T-shirt right there.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just venting.
I think you can do that one.
I like your little Dodgers deal there, but yeah, I'll be in Atlanta here in 2 weeks. I'll be on there.
You know what? We didn't tell her, Allie, or we didn't tell him, Allie. She works for the Dodgers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So can I do some content with all the baseball moms out there? I mean, you know how nice it would be to talk to some of them outfield moms being like, do you really care if he's playing right field now? She could be like, no. Right fielder mom's probably hating that right now. You know, I'm sorry, Trout, being poor guy, he's playing outfield, making $30 million a week.
Just old.
Dang
no,
right,
it's
I am
going
to
do that.
So to back up on that, actually, Jose Trevino's mom, and I heard a couple other ones are involved with that little summit thing. They know, and there's a lot of companies that are sponsoring that. Like I think the gum people. What's the gum
Big
one?
League Chew.
They just sent me a box I got to open and be like.
Did you just say the gum people?
Yeah, the Big League Chew, the ones with the dip that looks like the tobacco that we give the kids that are underage.
Oh, I know what Big League Chew is. I know what Big League Chew is, but you just said them gum. The Big League Chew, we got it. I got it.
Is that your all sponsors?
No.
Oh, the gum. Look, that's
we're
when
looking
you know
for our
you're
first
big.
sponsor.
When you can say the gum people, and they're like, "Oh, Big League Chew." There's your shout out, Big League Chew. Everybody knows.
He's got to
They're
go.
sending us
When they
some
ask
gum,
about the
too.
travel ball dads, oh, Mark Paul, yeah.
You got to wear it in your back pocket and everything. It's got to be your Big League Chew in your back pocket.
I don't even chew it. I just spit the little pink, juicy, sweet stuff out.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the best
that's
taste
what I'm
for the
saying.
first 5. You put some of that stuff in your mouth. That's the best taste of anything for the first 20 seconds of your life.
You're right.
Is it not?
It's not as
It
bad.
is.
It's not as bad as that zebra gum. That like zebra gum that has like a tattoo on it in there, and you put it in there, and it's like one Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and it's done. It's just done.
But hey, that's solid too, though. But no, you know those gum people, the Big League Chew. Shout out to them. They've got all the flavors, and they just last so long, guys. You just love our tobacco gum. It's great.
There we go.
Guys, it's not a drug. I was just joking. It's just a little sugar.
Well, Big League Chew gum is extra cool because it has the guy like hitting a bomb on the front of it. You know, it's like the guy like hitting a home run or something. So like you just keep buying that no matter what it tastes like. You know, you just keep buying it because it's like, look at this. You know,
I know. It's kind of what I do with these shirts right here. You want to play outfield better? It matters.
You know what?
I'm saying.
I didn't say go buy it. I just said outfield matters. I know.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go buy it because I believe outfield matters.
You know, and if they use code save 20, they might just get 20% off. You know.
Hey, let me tell you a funny story. Let me tell you, Mark. So last year, or when your outfield matters shirt came out, I'm riding in the car with my wife, and my son plays ball. He plays rec ball.
It sounds like it's a Jordan shoe, Amanda. When that Jordan 11 shirt came out.
Well, so check this out. So he plays ball, but he's not great, and he plays outfield because our infield's pretty rock solid. And my wife is like giving me down the road because my son never gets a chance to play in the infield. And I said, you know what? He was like 6 at the time.
Okay.
And I was like, you do realize outfield matters, right? I said,
but not at 6 because they never get the balls hit to them.
No, not at all.
She's right.
She was. It was like
white fields for that spot at 6, bro.
But I was gonna buy her a shirt. I showed her your shirt, and she realized that she was being that mom. And I was like, "See, told you, you being that mom."
I could do the Michael Jackson song, "Heal the World," make travel ball great again.
Hey, do you? I mean, where is your video for sliding gloves? Because we got to do one.
Oh, I know, dude. I didn't make those things drive me nuts.
But see, here I want to do one. I want to do one with my bacon mitt because my bacon mitt looks just like a sliding glove. Have they? See, I'm far behind.
People like them.
Who are people?
Something else I got to hold on first base. That's the video. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have the elbow guard and the sliding mitt and the hat and the helmet and the bat and be like,
and shin guards. Yep.
Come to the side. I'm dropping everything. That's right video.
Where's the wheelbarrow? Oh yeah. Well, dude, you can buy.
I don't know, man. People like them. I thought they outlawed them.
I don't know. You can buy custom painted ones. Like you can buy. You know how people custom paint tennis shoes. Yeah.
What? I don't know. The margin on those are so good. That's why.
I bet so.
I they were like 10 cents and selling for like 40. I personally, I'm not a big fan of them. I just think it looks silly. But fans, people wear them. I mean, it's not my fault. But hey, I'll do a video. I did do one. I did one about COVID. I said, not only will it protect your kids' fingers, it'll also help getting those germs on second base. And then it came up with like a COVID-19 little thing, but you couldn't really post it again because like COVID's not that hot right now. So you had to you gotta like stay up with times on the social media world.
Well, tell you what, if a sliding glove company, if Guardian or Evo Shield,
I make my own, dude. I source my sunglasses from overseas.
We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for sponsors.
You want to make some? Are y'all trying to get into that? Because I'll help you with some slide mitts.
No. Like we're just trying to make it as a podcast, and we got some merch coming though. We have a merch store now. Yeah, we got a merch store now, and Evo Shield's building this out, an actual like real Evo Shield team store. So,
dude, well then send me like a shirt or something.
I will.
Whatever, I'll just wear it.
No, I'll send you some.
I mean, I see your stuff everywhere. I mean, I really.
We'll send you some stuff. I'll send you
I'll send you your take. I'll send you your tonight.
It's on the way. We've already signed it. It's totally fine. We've already signed it.
Yeah, we'll autograph them and send them to you. There you go.
Hey, all right, wait.
Because you don't want my autograph. Let it be known. Like
you got 73 followers. You never know.
I mean,
you don't know who those 73 are, though.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Like a 90-year-old man, 4 bots.
I'm a big deal.
Allie, you've been quiet, so tell him about your girls' team and tell him that you do know somebody that's playing on his team, right?
Yeah, it was kind of fun, actually. So I run a nonprofit girls baseball organization. Our goal is to just try and get the girls on the field connected, allow them to play in a safe spot with other girls on the field. So when I saw that you grabbed Allie Elliott from Texas, really cool. Her dad, Spencer, was one of our coaches. Allie came out and played up a little bit and balled out.
Yeah.
And it's just really exciting. But how much heat have you gotten for having a girl?
No,
and has somebody reached out being like, you took her?
People was what I did is when I went out to Texas with Premier Prospects, shout out Mike Langford. I didn't forget about you too there, bro. He's also another tournament director in Dallas Fort Worth. Okay. Super good dude. He's actually selling my sunglasses at his tournaments, and I will be bringing my team out to one of his tournaments next year because they've been so good to me. And I watched Spencer's team play, and I went out to dinner with him after the night, and I just thought he really did a good job out there on the field with the kids. And I seen him because I seen him online. We were kind of following each other a little bit, and I just thought he did a really good job. And I didn't realize he had a daughter until like a week before that, and they looked solid. But I didn't pay any attention to anybody else except for him and his daughter. And I was busy. I was at a field in Dallas, and I was busy. It was hard because I had a lot of people there, and they were talking to me. But I just kind of liked the way he did things, and I thought she looked really good. I 100% do not care. I would love to talk to you more about this. I know Marika, I'm sure you know who she is. And so, Morgan Gaither is another one that I can get you, in touch with her. She's a really good friend of mine. We talk a lot and text back and forth. So she does the softball stuff. She actually's running a baseball team now. I think it's like an 8U team, and they're cute and they're doing pretty good. And I know she's running that thing great because she's a really good person. But I would love to talk to you more, especially with the whole Dodgers thing. It'd be neat to just do some content and maybe do some stuff like that. And you get some of the girls involved. I'm doing the girls softball line with the sunglasses. That does not mean they're just for softball girls. They're for women. So let's hook up, and I'll send you some of that stuff out and get you some of that stuff for your teams. And why not? I mean, if you want, just stuff like that. I don't need anything.
She's taking the first all girls team to Cooperstown this year.
Oh, really? Are you going to be there next year?
Yeah, I mean, the goal is I got a lot of my 11U girls bugging me, wanting to go. So I think it's going to be an opportunity, hopefully. Soon? Yeah, August 2nd, we're taking the first team to Cooperstown All-Star Village of all girls. And, the goal is to try and make this a yearly opportunity.
I might be there twice next year. So you need to try and get there the same time I'm there. And if I'll have my team down, and I'll maybe get a couple of them little girls on that team. You know what I'm saying? We'll go down there, or maybe you just come with me or do whatever. We'll figure something out.
These girls ball. Hey,
yeah, I'd like to see that.
She's got some girls that I think I don't actually.
Dude, what if they want it?
Oh, yes. Dude, we want to go and cover it. We want to go cover.
Yeah, I want to go to see that too, dude. I'd like to help out with that. That'd be neat.
They're doing the home run contest.
Them parents are crazy.
And that's where, like,
did you know that Kylie was starting first yesterday over Brianna? And I was like, let's go. It's like dance moms and travel moms.
But that's your videos. Like, you're not saying anything wrong or
Cooperstown. They're solid. It's baseball. Like she's
exactly
Dodgers and everything. Like they're over there like.
So, I mean, for us, like, I see your videos and our girls sit there and they're like, that's funny as heck. Like, it's all true stuff you're saying. And it's baseball, softball, girls baseball, boys baseball. It's fun.
And you work for the Dodgers? Like, what do you do for them?
So I work on field part-time as a ball person. And then I work for the training academy as a coach instructor.
Man,
I got a team, Mark.
I didn't go to a game. Are all you on LA?
No.
I'm the only one.
Well, when I get out there, I will hit you up. I'd love to go to a game and just kind of meet you guys and everything. I usually try and hook up with everybody I've ever really met. Best I can. Because I mean, the content you can make with a little girls team, and shoot, I'm gonna talk to my business partner. We're gonna talk to you. We need to get them girls in some shades.
Hey, Warstick,
man, even just SoCal Travel Ball.
You know how many followers that team would get? Do you post that on social media at all or anything? I need to.
We have.
Well, I'm gonna get on there and start paying attention to what y'all are doing now. So I make sure I get everybody's stuff in here, Aaron, before I leave. Don't let me forget. I got single mama stuff. So
and listen, I'm gonna need you not to judge my Coach Mama Instagram yet, because I had put a lot of like emphasis on it because I'm kind of been busy because I got lots of children playing ball. They're like the MVP out there, so I can't miss. You know what I mean? Like, my kids are the real deal. Like,
she's dance mom, she's gymnastics mom, and she's got 3 boys that play travel ball. And then
that's not true. They don't play travel ball.
Oh, well, yeah, she's got 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can tell him.
You know how I feel about that.
I do. I apologize.
I got one that plays travel-ish ball. It's like one of those like one-day tournaments, maybe once or twice a month.
If her baby they're gonna hear it if they slide home and they call her kid out.
Travel-ish ball.
No, and this is my thing. This is whenever folks hear me cheering, this is what I say. Like, my babies, they know they need it. They need me because they need me yelling because they be looking for my voice. That's what I'm gonna tell them.
Everybody needs a little Mark Paul. Everybody needs a little MP3, and there's always got to be one MP3 on the team. You know what I mean?
That's right. Everybody got to have one.
They got to have that one loud parent.
Oh,
the
My
loudest
kids be
one.
thanking me when we get home. They're just like, Mama, thank you for loving me. Like, thank you so much.
She's
Yeah.
trying to give you content right now, Mark.
I will. I hear
She's
that.
shoveling it.
Thank you for spending all that money and just not paying no attention to anybody else.
All right,
Complain.
dude.
Well-
Well, hey, man, I know we've had you for a while tonight, dude, and we don't want to hold you up much more.
It's been really good to get some of this off my chest, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, this has been awesome.
Well,
Jen, you
if
got any
you wanna-
questions? I'm sorry.
nope.
I'm sorry, Megan. You go right ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, if you wanted to come to South Georgia and make some like content in the cornfield or like on a peanut picker, or something like that, like that's where I live. And so like we ain't got nothing to offer down here
Well,
except for like
I'll have to see if I can pencil in the whole peanut picker deal. I'll do the best I can.
Yeah,
but,
we may have to.
Sometimes it can be a little exhausting when you get home after a day of being trapped. But I'll let you. We'll take a look at that. Yeah.
All right, man.
That's
So,
amazing.
Peanut pickers out in Georgia, guys. We didn't miss that this weekend while I was East Cobb. So
all right. So thank you everyone for listening. Mark, hey man, most people probably know how to find your stuff. But tell us really quickly about the brand you got, how to find you on social media. If people are just hearing about you now.
Well, Mark Powell is on Facebook, at MPTHREE is on TikTok. I do the same MP3 baseball on Instagram. MP is spelled all out, MPTHREE. And then my email's Mark at MP3 baseball. It's all spelled out. And I got SoleroShades.com and go stay at some Hampton Inns and tell everybody.
Hey, didn't you do a direct TV commercial at one point?
Yeah, that was just a little, hey man, you just shout us out. And
I thought that was.
There's a difference between, I didn't know this, but there's a difference between influencers and brand ambassadors. So
Okay.
it's just a tiny little quick. I was an influencer videos for Holiday Inn, and I did some stuff for Direct TV, and I think the MLB I did something with. I think it was a opening day, but then the brand ambassador is where you have you're like the face of that company. You're
Okay. Gotcha.
Neil on a Carnival cruise ship, and that was
Papa John's.
I know I'm gonna get a text being like, you shouldn't have said anything, but there's only 27 people on here now because the two decided that I wasn't answering them, so they got off. But I'll save this and
yeah.
But no, that's where I'm at, and
awesome.
that's kind of what I've been doing.
All right, I got one last question for you, man. We asked this to everybody on the show. All right, it's the hardest question we got. So when you walking up the plate, the next time you walk up the plate, what's your walkout song going to be?
I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston, because the note she hits on that. Oh, and I got a lip sync video of that I missed. Or it might be Ain't Going Down If the Sun Comes Up by Garth Brooks, because I like karaoke that song.
All right. That works. All right. So for everyone out there listening, thank you so much for listening to us and Mark Powell talk about life, therapy, and all kind of stuff. So a freaking amazing
and
show.
Peanut pickers from Georgia.
and peanut pickers from Coach Mama. So, all right, for everyone out there listening, thank you guys. And Mark, at the end of every one of our shows, I say until next time, and we say we'll catch you on the slide. So this is
sweet.
It
so
is.
Next time we say what?
We say we'll catch you on the slide.
We'll catch you. All right. Well, I'll be
all
on
right.
That. Let me know.
All right. Here you go, Mark. This is your turn. This is your cue. So until next time,
we'll see you on the slide.
There we go.